WIBTA if I kept my dad's dog against my girlfriend's wishes? I am not Oop. Oop is you, Awkward Crow 401. He posted in r, am I the asshole? Fun fact to cover up spoilers on mobile. You, Jeb Gleason requested carnivorous plants. There are over 700 species of carnivorous plants in the world. The largest species is the Triphyophyllum peltatum, which can grow up to 70 meters in length. Thankfully, none of these plants are dangerous to humans, but only to insects and small animals. Mood spoilers. Sad but okay. Dog is fine. Less than. Original post. February 25, 2023. Throwaway because a bunch of people I know have my Reddit. I, 32M, and my girlfriend, Ellen, 33F, have been together for 2 years, 7 months, and have been living in the same, my, house for 8 months. The issue in question arose when my dad, 58M, gave me his dog, Mila, 6F. She was a rescue, so we don't know her exact age. Before I had even met Ellen, I made a promise with my dad to take Mila in if he couldn't care for her, which is something I discussed with Ellen before she even moved in, and she had no complaints then. My dad fell ill 4 months ago, and of course I took Mila in. He is not getting better, so he asked me to officially adopt her and I agreed. Ellen was furious that I made this decision without consulting her, despite me having told her about the arrangement in the past. Although I feed, walk, groom and manage all of Mila's needs, financially and otherwise, Ellen said she had to put her foot down on this issue. I asked Ellen if there were any specific reasons she was so opposed to keeping Mila, and she stated the following. She said that since she works from home full-time, whereas I'm closer to 50-50, that I can't understand how much having a dog around affects her work. She makes clay art, crockery, that sort of thing. Having a dog is expensive, and it will be a drain on our finances, which are not joined, I'll note, and I've paid for everything so far. It will make it more difficult for us if we ever want to have a child. Our house is not huge, so it doesn't make sense to have a big dog like Mila. She has friends who have severe dog hair allergies, and she doesn't want them to feel they can't visit anymore. None of her complaints had anything to do with any bad behavior. Mila does not jump on people or furniture, bite, bark at visitors. She will follow commands to leave a room if they're given to her, etc. I see that these are reasonable objections to not taking Mila in, but I stayed firm in my position. Ellen said that if I loved her, I would make other arrangements. And at this stage one was getting a bit angry, so what I said next may have been a little harsh. I told her, love has nothing to do with this. My first responsibilities are my dad and Mila, and nothing you say will convince me to send her away. If you seriously can't cope with that, you can get out of my home. Ellen burst into tears at this and left to go stay with her mom, citing that I clearly need time to think this over. A bunch of her friends who know me have been telling me that I'm a total off for prioritizing a dog over my girlfriend of nearly 3 years. But my own friends have been telling me to stand my ground. Ellen has been radio silent, has not come home, and is not responding to my texts. So I guess I'm looking for some unbiased opinions on the matter. WIBTA if I kept Mila? Relevant comments. I definitely know my words were harsh, and that I could have phrased it all better. Ellen means so much to me, but at the same time I also love my dad, and he is basically the only family I have outside of her. I made a promise to him, and I don't know if I could justify going back on my word. I hope this is something we can work through, and we can manage whatever problems Ellen has with Mila, but I'm not giving her away. Full stop. So if we can't, as much as it hurts, I'm more willing to lose Ellen than I am to betray my dad's trust. Someone accuses him of being a misogynist and berates him for making her deal with the dog. We have already been living with Mila for 4 months. Full-time. As you put it, I sorted all of the arrangements for her feeding, walks, where she sleeps, etc. I have paid for everything so far. I will pay for everything in the future. I have not, nor will I, make Ellen pay anything for Mila's care unless she wants to, which is made clear to her given our separate finances. As I mentioned in my post, Mila also follows commands to leave a room. So if there was a problem with Ellen's workspace being intruded upon, which she never mentioned, then that's an easy fix. Ellen is not the only one having to adapt to a new, strange situation. My dad is young enough. He set precautions, but never did I actually expect things would come to what they are now. I was more prepared for this reality than my girlfriend, but before she moved in 8 months ago I made her aware it was a possibility and she stated no issues. The way I see it, although it may seem cruel to you, there are no other options to discuss for me. My dad trusted me to keep my end of the promise. I am not giving away the dog he loves. Lastly, I think it's incredibly unfair of you to insinuate I'm some woman-hating misogynist for being angry and saying things I openly regret to my girlfriend in an argument where she presented me with an ultimatum. It is our home. But if she can't respect the fact that I will be keeping Mila, then clearly it isn't really ours. Is it? Quote, more about why he is frustrated. Like I said, Mila moved in 4 months ago. Although the arrangement to keep Mila around permanently is new, actually having a dog in the house isn't. Ellen's objections, however, are. I had no idea she didn't like having Mila around, as she never once voiced these opinions to me. Nor has she offered me any ways to change the situation to better accommodate her. She has made her thoughts pretty clear. If I love her, I should find Mila a new home. If Ellen had issues, she also had 4 months of living with a dog in our house to bring them up with me. But she didn't. Not until now. And none of her issues are things I can reasonably accommodate. I can't control her friends' allergies, or the size of our house, or the fact that she works solely from home. What I can do, managing all the dog's needs, is what I have done. I have compromised to the best of my abilities. My girlfriend is not a piece of furniture. Please stop demeaning her, or implying that I demean her. If I didn't think she was worthy of respect, I would not be trying to reach out to make amends for treating her harshly. Does your girlfriend pay rent? Nah, my income is enough to cover mortgage repayments and the bills. They're pretty low though, since we have solar. She usually pays for groceries and gas though. It's not something I'm pressing on. She has a car to pay off and a lower earning job. So I'm happy to carry the extra financial weight. OOP is voted NTA. Update post. March 1st, 2023. 4 days later. So I guess it's customary to give an update on these things. And since a few people started following me after my previous post, I figured I ought to finish the story. It's only been a few days, but a lot has happened. Ellen finally agreed to meet up earlier today. Ironically, though people were telling me to break up with her, she beat me to the punch. We talked over coffees for a few hours. And what many of you suggested was true. Her real reason for not wanting to keep Mila was separate from all of the ones she offered me. She said that she thinks I've just changed too much since we got her. And when I asked what she meant, she stated that I'm less passionate and engaged with her than before. I don't really know if I can do anything with that, whether it's to do with the stress of my father's condition or not. But she basically said I'm not the person she fell in love with anymore. She's packing up her things even as I type this. It's hard in a way I can't describe. Like all of a sudden I'm losing all of the people I love. But I also know that I can't control her decision to leave if that's what she wants. In brighter news, Mila is doing well. Some of you were concerned that Ellen might spirit her away. But she's still very much around. I brought her to the hospital park area to see my dad and she was over the moon to be with him again. So I'll probably keep that up as long as he's able. I've also taken up the recommendations to find a doggy daycare for the days I'm in the office. I'll start dropping her off there next week. And if all goes well, I'm sure she'll make plenty of friends. There isn't much else to say, other than thank you. There's been an enormous amount of love and support coming from this subreddit. People were sending dozens of heartfelt messages. I even had to turn my phone off because all the notifications were too much of a distraction at work. I wanted to let you know all your kind words mean so much to me. Even if I felt a little too awkward to respond to most of the messages. It's a strange and difficult time all around for Mila and I. But we'll try and navigate it as best we can. That's all, I suppose. Thank you for your time. Dog tax. https imager.com/a/cxbktfh. Hopefully that works. Mila guarding a ball from the pup of one of my dad's friends. Who will remain covered. For privacy reasons. Bro, obviously he changed. He is under severe stress from his father being ill. What the actual heck? Wow, what a ride. When everyone broke down the situation, it reminded me of my ex when my grandpa died. She said my sadness made her feel bad. This on top of my then depression. Credit when credit is due. My ex had the balls to say it out loud despite it being tactless as hell. So the problem wasn't the dog. The problem was that she couldn't handle his being stressed out from his dad's illness and potential death. Hopefully he meets a nice, supportive woman at the dog park. He hasn't changed because of the dog. He's changed because his dad is sick and he's worried about him. Seriously, what's wrong with this lady? Oop, dodged a bullet. She seems incredibly unsupportive. I would leave someone if they tried to get me to back out of an arrangement that was like that and they knew about it. Also, he's changed. Of course he has. He's worried about his dad who has become so sick he's hospitalized and likely won't be able to care for his dog if he gets out. I just do not understand Ellen's thought process. If the dog isn't the issue, why the hell do you want him to rehome the dog he took in as a promise to his hospitalized father? Like, is it some sort of power play or something? It seems like it's for the best that they aren't together anymore. I realize people are complex and I don't want to write her off as a terrible person. But I just can't imagine not supporting my partner of multiple years through what seems like a very stressful and scary time in their life. Oop. My dad is sick and he's not getting better, so I'm going to have to take care of his dog like I promised, and I already told you, Ellen. Cries, you have changed so much since the dog started living with us because your dad is sick and not getting better. You are no longer passionate and engaged with my needs. Cries, Oop is better without her. I can't even imagine being so selfish with someone who may soon lose their family member. I once made a woman get out of my car because she suggested getting rid of my dog. Left her ass on Mira Mesa Boulevard about 12 years ago. She's still by the Vons for all I know. Imagine for a moment what could have happened as well. Oop ends up getting rid of this wonderful dog. And shortly after, GF breaks up with him anyway because of the same reasons. Just oof. Glad Oop kept the dog and is moving on without this unsupportive piece of work. So his dad is dying and she's jealous of the dog, blaming it for Oop being depressed. Had a GF when one of my grandparents got sick and died. She cheated won me cause I was so sad and withdrawn a month after my grandpa died. Sad part is the year before her grandpa died and I used a week of vaca to be there with her. Some people are so self-centered they don't need to date other. Dude might not think it now, but he dodged a bullet here. Your dad is dying and it shouldn't affect your mood. Give me all your attention. I don't like Ellen either. Oop is so respectful of the other dog's privacy. He feels like a nice human being. Mila loves Oop unconditionally. Ellen loves Oop conditionally. Glad he chose the dog. I'm just happy for Mila that she still has a home. I could never have forgiven anyone who would wish me to part from my dog. So, if he got rid of the dog, she still would have left him. I had an ex that demanded that I get rid of my cat because his religions dictated that cats were bad luck. I told him he can shove it. My cat had been with me through everything and there was no way I was getting rid of my best friend. Just because he was superstitious. He wasn't even just a little sitious. Luckily after our relationship ended, I met my husband and we're both cat people, so it worked out. Well, should be fun for her to no longer have free rent and a free clay pottery studio. She had only been in the house for 4 months when Mila moved in. She's only been there 8 months total, not paying rent, and already she's giving ultimatum. He's better off without her. I don't understand people who enter relationships knowing about the clear conditions that are laid out before them and then, once in the relationship, feel like they can just say no to the conditions and win. Like, you know what you were getting into. Don't cry about it now.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. WIBTA is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.